From the mid-1970s through the mid-1980s, a phantom roamed the suburbs of California. He wasn't a figure out of folklore or urban legend, he was real, and he was hunting. He started in Northern California, in quiet, seemingly safe neighborhoods. He crept through backyards, peered through windows, and mapped out the lives of the people inside. What they did, when they left, where they slept. Then one night, he would strike. In 1976, in Rancho Cordova, a Sacramento suburb, the first attack unfolded. It seemed random, senseless. A couple was sleeping when a masked intruder broke in. He tied up the man. Then, with a flashlight in one hand and a knife in the other, he raped the woman. When it was over, he didn't flee immediately. He stayed. He ate from their fridge. He whispered to himself in a low, menacing voice, "I'll kill you. I'll kill you." It would not be the last time. He returned again and again, targeting couples in single-story homes, always at night, always prepared. The media dubbed him the East Area Rapist, and his reign of terror lasted years. Each attack followed a pattern. He would break in while the victim slept. Sometimes he entered through unlocked sliding doors. Sometimes he removed window screens. Often, he would call the house days before, just breathing heavily or whispering threats. When he entered, he would shine a flashlight directly in their eyes to blind them. He would tie up the male partner, often with shoelaces, and place plates on his back, warning, "If I hear a sound, I'll kill her first, then you." To the victims, it felt like the intruder was everywhere, inside their walls, under their beds, in their nightmares. And still, he left nothing behind. No name, no fingerprints, no real clues. The psychological torment he inflicted was just as haunting as the crimes themselves. Some victims reported he would whisper for hours while they lay tied and blindfolded. One woman heard him crying in the next room, muttering to himself, "I hate you, Bonnie, I hate you." Who was Bonnie? A past lover? A trigger? Authorities couldn't keep up. The attacks spread beyond Sacramento. By the late 1970s, he had committed over 50 rapes and countless home invasions. Despite mass public warnings, town hall meetings, and increased patrols, he stayed one step ahead. People bought guard dogs, some installed alarm systems, some men even slept with guns on their chests. Still, he came. And then, just as suddenly as he appeared, he vanished. For a moment, law enforcement thought maybe he had died or gone to jail for another crime. But what they didn't know was that he had simply moved south and evolved. In 1979, a new kind of predator emerged in Southern California. This one didn't just rape, he killed. The murders began in Goleta, Ventura, Irvine, and Dana Point. The cases were brutal. Couples bludgeoned to death in their beds, homes left ransacked, entire communities shaken. Police called this suspect the original Night Stalker to distinguish him from Richard Ramirez, the infamous Night Stalker who came years later. But no one realized they were actually chasing the same man. He had changed. No more victims left alive, no more chance for identification. He was refining his methods and killing with impunity. The original Night Stalker murdered at least 13 people between 1,979 and 1,986. In some cases, entire families were destroyed. As with the East Area Rapist, he targeted couples. He stalked them, broke in while they slept, tied them up, and then he killed. Detectives tried everything. They compared fingerprints, shoe prints, DNA. Nothing matched. There were no viable suspects. No witnesses who ever saw his face. It was as if California was being haunted by a ghost who could kill at will and then disappear. Years passed. The case went cold. But some detectives never gave up. They kept the evidence, especially the DNA. They kept it safe, waiting for a future that might give them answers. That future came in the form of something unexpected: genetic genealogy. In 2018, an investigator with the Sacramento County Sheriff's Office uploaded the DNA sample from one of the old rape kits into GED Match, a public genealogy database used by people researching family trees. Surprisingly, it yielded a partial match to a distant cousin of the killer. From that single thread, detectives unraveled a complex family tree. They built branches, filtered names, cross-referenced birth records, and addresses. Eventually, they narrowed their search to a single man, Joseph James DeAngelo. DeAngelo was a former police officer. In the 1970s, he worked in Auburn, California, just miles from where the East Area Rapist attacks had begun. He had been fired for shoplifting a hammer and dog repellent. After that, he lived a quiet life in the suburbs of Citrus Heights. No one suspected he was a killer. Surveillance confirmed his DNA matched the killers in the sex. On the 24th of April, 2018, police arrested him outside his home. He was 74 years old. Neighbors described him as grumpy, quiet. He liked to ride his bicycle. Some thought he was harmless. They had no idea he was one of the most prolific and terrifying criminals in American history. In court, DeAngelo sat silently. He showed no emotion as survivors described the horrors he inflicted on them. In 2020, he pled guilty to 13 murders and admitted to dozens of rapes and burglaries. He was sentenced to 11 consecutive life terms without parole. The judge told him, "You terrorized an entire state." But this story isn't just about horror, it's about resilience, and it's about science finally bringing justice to the shadows. DeAngelo's arrest sparked a wave of renewed investigations into cold cases across the country. Genetic genealogy became a revolutionary tool in criminal justice. Within a few years, dozens of decades-old cases were solved. But even now, questions linger. How many more like DeAngelo are still out there hiding in plain sight? How many cold cases will never have DNA to speak for the dead? And how long will it take us to bring them into the light?